Welcome back to Main Station. Well, in this video, I'll be going over our Canadian MJ stocks, CRON, CGC, APHA, TGOT, and CAN. So let's get started. I don't have too much time, so I hope I finish this video quite soon. So yeah, well, and I want to warn you in general about this market right now. We are getting very extended. We are moving now into parabolic territory. So, well, you want to be cautious. Although you want to be cautious, there is still much trading opportunity. And, well, as you can see, we broke out of our, well, you could draw it like this, then it would be more aligned, and then you would have more points connecting. So after we broke two all-time highs and had a blue sky breakout, well, we made pretty damn good gains. So as you know, I called this, and we are now up to 60% out of this gain. I also mentioned this, of course, back down here. And well, you might, if you entered somewhere around there, you are in a very big profit. Well, I didn't. Doesn't really matter, actually, in my opinion. Of course, well, money is nice, but it's more about learning this stuff and being able to call this stuff rather than having to enter any possible trade I could enter. So, well, you can see we are getting quite extended on the RSI. We are up in the 90s area right now. Yeah, we are at 90. Well, we could still move higher. I would expect a little short pullback. Depends how big the candle is. If we go to the weekly time frame on CRON, then you want to be cautious for a bearish engulfing candle, which basically deletes this one. And if this trading week gets red, then this could be a shooting star, and then we will definitely look for a pullback. But even if it's not, you want to be looking at the 4 hour and the hourly. And if we have our trend intact, and well, we haven't really set a higher low on the 4 hour, so you want to look at the hourly, and basically this would be our recent higher low. You could take these two, but I don't know, maybe this is higher low, maybe you could call this. And when you move into such parabolic territory, you want to be cautious, so as I said. And you could just trade intraday trading, or I would trade intraday right now, since we see such bullish movement and such and so big percentage gains that if you enter a position and you want to swing trade that in this territory, being up this far, being this extended, you don't want to have a long-term position, in my opinion, or more of a mid-term position, in my opinion, and you want to actually trade intraday right now, since your gains are quite possible and can be quite nice just by basically trading maybe 1 hour or 3 hours a day. So anyway, well, yeah, you want to be looking at the 50-minute if you are trading this right now. And if you are in a position, then you just can keep holding and wait for basically a daily and a weekly sign that we move back down, and do not only enter consolidation, but basically have an engulfing bearish candle, which deletes basically this one right here, and especially on the weekly. And then you want to look to enter your position. But well, we can just move so up to like 50. We can still make 100% gains, no doubt, in my opinion, on CRON. And well, moving to CGC, not not too similar, but still, of course, very bullish. We have seen now a break out of our consolidation pattern right here. We had basically this. It's still actually basically a bear flag, maybe an hourly bear flag, but well, it more looks like an ascending triangle. So this still looks bullish, and well, we are quite near our all-time highs. Maybe like we are 20% off. So not too far, and actually very nice, or more not too parabolic than like Kron is. So well, you don't have to be that cautious like you have to be on Kron, but you still want to be on your feet, since well, we had already 50% or 100% of this bottom right here, which, as you might know, I called it. I didn't enter a position since this didn't look too nice to me, but after that, well, I said we are bullish, and well, I did also say that I would be cautious going up to 46, basically our lower high right here, but well, we consolidated below it, and then I said that we are most likely going to see a break of this trend line, or of this lower high, and move into a bull trend. And basically, I wouldn't call it a bull trend right now. I would just call it maybe a pump and dump, since this can get very parabolic. And yes, we can see like $100 and or still 100% gains from here, like 2x, no pain, no doubt, in my opinion. So, well, if you want to enter, then you basically want to enter right now, or if we move back up this high, or above this high, we're just creating. And well, also here you want to be cautious, but you can still look at the 4 hour and the hourly actually to manage your trades, since you have nicer higher lows and lower highs of at this time frame than you would at Kron. So well, yeah, you basically, if you are looking for a short swing position or also a day trade, then you can do this, of course, at a bit more prolonged time frames on CGC, as you can see, where we've seen 4% gains, and here we are now seeing 70% gains, almost 20%. And Kron is a very established company. This is not like a penny stock, so this is very concerning, at least, but also nice to see, no doubt. So well, this is APHA. And we are getting from very extended to least extended. I'll list them at that in this at this list, whatever. So well, this is APHA, and we are still basically in a downtrend, since we've made lower lows and lower highs, and before we break $17, and if we just activate our pivots, then basically if we move back up to 1686, then after breaking this, we would look for a trend change, and then for higher highs, or for all-time highs, basically, since we just had, or we would have only to move like 20% of these highs to create all-time highs. So well, also quite extended. You can see our big bull volume, and this is also on Kron. On the daily, you can see we are getting increasing bull volume, or I don't know if it's a bear volume, but I mean bull volume on the PHA and Kron. So we are now above our 200 EMA, and well, it's looking very, very bullish. I would like to see this retrace, since this is a parabolic move, but we did this out of consolidation, basically, and this basically was an ascending wedge, So this is a very bearish pattern. But of course, since the rest of the Canadian marijuana sector are seeing such bullish moves, well, APHA might as well also get some bullish action. So, well, this is not healthy in my opinion. But if you want to trade it, then go ahead. But also here, I would look for our 15-minute time frame, since this is, in my opinion, intraday. What do you call it? Your opportunity, intraday opportunity. God damn it! I'm a bit exhausted already, so and I'll be going to work out in basically half an hour. So wish me all the best. Well, yeah, we are getting not too extended on the 15-minute, but on the daily we are already quite extended. Maybe on the RSI we are, but still like 10 points below Kron, but still quite extended. And you want to be cautious for a swing trading position. I would only trade intraday right now on APHA. But if we go and set our higher low on this 200 EMA, then I would enter a position. For now, I would keep away from APHA, since this bull move is, well, a bit parabolic and should see at least daily consolidation. And if you go to Kron, well, we at least had a 1 red day, and well, it has been more extended, and you want to see this curve up and then come back down. And on APHA, we don't see really curve, we see consolidation and then bull move, basically straight up. Not too nice in my opinion, but you can trade, of course, in any shape or form you want. But I would look for at least 4-hour and hourly consolidation on APHA. But yeah, moving on to TGOD, we are getting now into some stocks which look actually a bit nicer for trading opportunities, for a bit more like daily and swing trading positions. So, well, we are setting very nice higher lows on the daily, and this I would trade TGOD mostly in the 4-hour, since we also see a 204-hour EMA. Well, we are still in a downtrend, basically, since we made low lows and lower highs. If you see this as our low, these are as our lows, and this could still be consolidation, but doesn't look like it in my opinion, and looks like a move which will break 4.9. If we activate our pivots, this will most likely will be $5. Oh, almost $5, but basically, if we move up to 4.98 and basically $5, then this would be a trend change, and we would look for a move which maybe gets us even above our all-time high, and then have a blue scar breakout and see after that still 100x gains after $5. So in my opinion, TGOD would be, out of these, one of my favorite, and Can is my second favorite for swing trading positions. And I'm not in a position right now where I can trade intraday. There's no way I could do this. So if I would trade in any shape or form, then it would be swing trading positions, or I would trade swing trading positions. And then, well, I would look at a daily and weekly trends, and this would be one I would like to enter actually. And well, we are seeing now a bit of a pullback on after reaching back up to this 200 EMA, but I think we will see consolidation and then move above 431, and you can enter either upon breaking of a possible equilibrium on the 4-hour and hourly on TGOD. Basically, after it breaks the lower highs, then you can enter, and if you want to be more conservative, then you can enter above 432, I meant. And I think if this breaks, then we will move higher than 498. because if we don't, well, then this would be a lower high, and we would look for low lows compared to these right here. But this looks like consolidation since we are holding on our moving averages. Then, and since this is happening, I would say we would now move either into an equilibrium or get an ascending triangle and see this break our 498 high too. Well, and you can see we are on crown. We're actually going up to 18%, basically 9% gains. This is just ridiculous. Well, yeah. Well, this is T-God, and now we have CAN, and we had this prolonged daily bearish trend line, downtrend line, which we broke recently, and and we are now seeing a nice pullback. If we go to the 4 hour and the hourly, then we are now touching it very nicely. You want us to hold right now, though. If we don't, then this can be a fake out, and we will see it actually collapse back down and maybe hold upon this trend line and our recent support around 2.2 or 2.223, and maybe see it then collapse back down. But you want us to hold right now. We are also upon some sort of critical support on the horizontal line. So, and this would actually be more like this. You can see we are holding still very nicely upon it. And yeah, well, you want us to hold right now and see it reverse in the near future. These candles, quite funny. But yeah, well, this is cannabis, General Cannabis Corp, CAN, and this would be also this would be a nice swing trading position. We are still in a downtrend. You want to keep this in mind. You can see we had we have in an equilibrium right here, lower highs and lower highs and higher lows, but we broke it quite significantly. And well, since we are basically in a downtrend, we would look for lower highs and lower lows. So this could be our lower high, or we could look to form our lower high and then see this come back down and go maybe reach this trend line. But in my opinion, this looks maybe like an expanding wedge to the downside, and this would be a bullish indication and a bullish pattern. And since we are holding below our 200 EMA, I would think that since we haven't touched it and collapsed back down, since we did right here, I would think that, and right here, I would think that we could hold below it, consolidate below it, and as we've seen in similar shapes, that we have an equilibrium and then break this 200 EMA, most likely on the hourly, or most clearly on the